Hello and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host. And when we went to break, I told you that my next guest would be a local attorney, Attorney Akele Atkins. Akele Atkins, welcome to All About Community.
Thank you.
Well, you're happy to be here, right?
I'm absolutely happy.
Let's talk for a moment about some of the let's talk about a little bit of your background.
Okay.
Did you grow up? Where did you grow up here in the Bay Area?
I actually grew up in Seattle, Washington.
Seattle, Washington. That's way up north somewhere, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about Seattle, Washington. You grew up. Where did you go to school?
Okay, I went to elementary, Coleman Elementary School. And then I went to junior high school at Washington, junior high school, and then I went to high school at Garfield High School, and then on to the University of Washington.
Oh, you went to University of Washington. Is that where you graduated from?
That is.
All right. And how did you end up here in the Bay Area?
Well,
Of all places, the Bay Area. Why not New York? Why not Arizona? Why not Nevada?
I had an opportunity to come down to visit a friend, and I fell in love with the Bay Area. I also came down to visit the Bay Area and decided, because I did fall in love with, I was going to look for a job. My undergraduate degree was in communications and theater.
Communication and theater. Ah, have you done any work in that area?
I've done some work in theater, but in the communications area, I worked in radio for a number of years.
Ah, now where did you work in radio?
A number of radio stations, all of which are now gone now. The first
Oh, what, you drove them out of business? Come on now,
Exactly.
you didn't do that, did you?
The first one was KDIA,
KDIA.
Yes.
Is it, as you say, the boss soul of the Bay?
the boss of the Bay.
All right.
That was long before me, but I came after that.
KDIA.
From KDIA, I went to another station over in San Francisco that is no longer in business. That would be KSOL.
KSOL. I'm beginning to remember all those names. I remember in law school with me was a fellow named Roland Porter from KDIA. Roland Porter. I remember that name from KDIA. All right.
I was too young.
Of course. Now, you say you work for what other stations other than KDIA?
I actually went from KSOL, which was a soul music station,
KSOL. Oh,
Yes,
yeah, I
KSOL.
remember KSOL.
to a country music station. I believe that it's been so long
Country
ago.
music?
Yes, it
Now,
was.
how did you fit in with country music?
I actually liked it.
You
I
did?
I did well. I did well. So I stayed there for a while, and then after that, I moved on into Xerox Corporation.
Ah, okay. And how long were you at Xerox Corporation?
It was about 5 years.
Oh, and then what happened after Xerox?
Well, during the 5 years that I was at Xerox, actually at KSOL, I decided I wanted to go to law school.
Oh, okay.
So in order for me to go to law school, I still had to work full time.
I see.
So I
And
worked full time.
what influenced you to go to law school?
I had met a number of people who were attorneys that fascinated me.
Okay.
And I thought, I'm just going to do it.
All right.
so-
And you did it.
And I did.
And now you're practicing law.
Absolutely.
And how long have you been practicing law?
I have now been practicing law for nearly 20 years in the Bay
20
Area.
years. Wow, that's a long, long time. Have
Yes,
you
it is.
enjoyed it?
I have. I have.
Good. Well, tell me, what do you enjoy about practicing law?
I think the thing that I enjoy most is the people that I meet. When I decided to go into law, I decided that I needed to be needed more than I was needed selling advertising. So the majority of the people that came in were very good people who needed me, and I helped them, and that made me feel good.
Majority of people, you mean there were some people not good?
Well, there's always a few people that are challenges.
Go ahead.
Oh, and I've continued on. I started out in family law. I moved on to what I love to do primarily now, which is probate. I still do family law. So family law, probate, and an absolutely lot of civil collections.
What are civil collections?
Civil collections, unfortunately, are when someone, say, falls behind on a debt, they can't pay the debt, and there are companies that come after them to pay the debt. They've got judgments against them, and it's not a beautiful sight. So when you're working for the creditor, And the creditor in civil collections, you're actually going against the person who probably doesn't have any money in the first place. But if you're working for the debtor, which I really do enjoy, you're actually teaching them the strategic parts about, first of all, how not to get there again.
Right.
And then secondly, if there's no way out, you create a way out for them so that everybody's happy.
Now let's talk about family law.
Okay.
What's involved in family law?
Well, family law, primarily I do dissolutions. So
Dissolutions, you mean when people trying to get unhitched?
absolutely. And in that also involves children, which is a very sensitive area. And I think
And in California, it's a no-fault divorce state, right?
that's correct.
So, in other words, a person just want to dissolve the marriage. He can say, "I don't want to be married anymore," and there's nothing the other party can do about it. Is that right?
No, unless they drag them down and force them to do it. I don't think there is anything you
But
can
there,
do.
but in many marriages, there are so-called children, not so-called, but so-called dependents, and these are usually children, right?
Correct.
And that becomes the sticky part of many marriages. Is how does that?
You know, it can and then it can't. In the
Okay.
majority of cases, like I said, I have been lucky in a lot of cases. In a lot of cases, if you're able to communicate to both sides, sometimes the other side isn't represented. So I would have the tendency to represent both sides if it's okay with the parties. And when you're
Okay.
doing
Well,
that,
I'm going to have to go to break. Unfortunately, we do have to take breaks around here. So don't touch that remote. We will be right back with All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host, and my guest is Akele Atkins, attorney at law. We will be right back.